Thousands of 2023 Colorados and Canyons are still sitting at the Wentzville factory with no explanation why. My 2023 Colorado was built 5 weeks ago. Does GMA have an ETA for delivery? Will GM ever ship them? Mine's been built but not shipped for almost 7 weeks now. You've got questions? Well, we have the answers. Here's what's going on with shipments of the 2023 Chevy Colorado and the 2023 GMC Canyon.
Motrolix.
The GMAuthority.com inbox has recently been inundated with hundreds of messages from readers demanding to know what is going on with shipments of the all-new 2023 Chevy Colorado, as well as its corporate cousin, the all-new 2023 GMC Canyon. Some customers have been waiting for months to take delivery of their new pickup, and they really want to know, why is it taking so long, and when can they expect their new truck to arrive? And it makes sense. After all, the new Colorado debuted way back in July of 2022, while the new Canyon debuted a month later in August. Production of both models started in January of 2023 at the Wentzville plant in Missouri, and orders have been pouring in since then, and actually before then. Unfortunately, deliveries have been relatively sparse, resulting in GMAuthority.com receiving comments like these. Chuck W. writes in saying there are rumors of GM putting up tents at the Wentzville plant for the massive amount of built but not shipped Colorados and Canyons. Why aren't they shipping the trucks? What's the deal here? George D. says, I get that everyone is constrained on seemingly everything these days, but not shipping a built truck for over 3 months is just strange. By the time they get around to shipping my 2023 Colorado Trail Boss, there will be 24s rolling off the line. Scott P. shares a similar sentiment, saying, my 2023 Colorado was built 4 months ago at this point, but still not shipped. They will be making 24s by the time it ships. Where is my truck? Don B. has a more thought out letter saying, thanks for setting up such a thorough and reliable source of information that is apart or separate from the GM Corporation. A delicate balance for you, I am sure. Yes, it actually is, Dom. Thanks for noticing. Dom then continues to say that there is no definitive info in the cause of delays in releasing the 2023 GMC Canyons. Mine has been manufactured, but there is no info regarding the shipping date. I am shocked about the lack of communication from GM. Here in the St. Louis area, this area includes the Wentzville, Missouri plant site, all GMC dealers have the same quote-unquote story. They don't know, and it could be because of EPA fuel ratings or lack of electronic parts. Would you please research this? Many thanks and keep up the good work. Dom, thank you so much for the letter as well as the kind words. Bobby S. asks, thousands of 2023 Colorados and Canyons are sitting on the Wentzville factory lot without shipping, with no public information as to why, or an expectation on when they may move. Why are you not writing on this topic? Well, Bobby, we are going to not only write about it, but we're doing this whole video about it. So here we go. Okay, so clearly people are getting frustrated with the situation. So we reached out to GM directly to get an idea of what's going on. And here's what they had to say. The director of Chevy Truck Communications, Shad Balch, recently emailed us with the following statement to give us a better idea of what's taking place regarding shipments of the 2023 Colorado. He says, quote, production of GM's midsize pickup trucks is well underway and we are shipping to dealers every day. During launch, it is a common practice for us to temporarily build and hold vehicles to ensure quality before shipping to dealers. We know our customers are excited to get their new trucks. We are working to deliver them as quickly as possible. So, the general says that shipments are well underway, but per company policy, vehicles are being held to, quote, ensure quality. Now, I would also like to add some more context here beyond the matter of vehicles being held at the plant for quality purposes. And the thing I wanted to add is it really has to do with logistics. Simply put, shipping vehicles is not all that easy or let's just say, convenient. After all, with shipping the Colorado and the Canyon, GM is not shipping smartphones or laptops or smartwatches here, okay? It's shipping huge hunks of metal weighing several thousand pounds each. So let's just think through what needs to happen here, right? You've got to have a vehicle parked at the right place, at the right time at the plant. You got to, load it up to a trailer. A trailer needs to be attached to a truck. A truck needs to typically be driven by a driver, right? I mean, that's the ones that exist thus far. And so all of these things need to come together. There needs to be a sufficient amount of trucks, right, of tractor trailers. There needs to be a sufficient amount of actual trailers, and there needs to be just the right amount of people to actually drive them. And so all of that needs to ultimately come together to bring these trucks to the actual dealer or to a distribution hub and then to a dealer. So there's a lot of moving parts here, and they are not shipping little tiny boxes with, again, technology like smartphones or smartwatches or whatever other thing, PlayStations, what have you. No, GM here is shipping huge pieces of stuff, right, that are heavy, that need proper care to be loaded, proper operation, the proper equipment. So this isn't a matter of just, getting a container, stuffing that container full of boxes, shipping it out to the distro center or shipping it out to a retailer and calling it a day. This is a much more complex and much more resource intensive operation. But of course, that's cold comfort for those customers who are eagerly awaiting the delivery of their new pickup. And I fully understand that. I mean, as many are well aware, purchasing a vehicle can involve a lot of planning, especially for those who are leasing and are, for instance, nearing the end term of their lease contract. So, if you ordered a Colorado or a Canyon and you're currently in a leased vehicle and your lease is coming up, say we're now at the end of April, let's say it's coming up at the end of April. Well, if your Colorado hasn't even shipped yet, and it might take, a few days, or it might take another 2 months for it to ship, then that person in that situation really would like probably to know, should they extend their lease contract? Should they do a short-term extension? Is that even an option in their lease contract? Or should they, give up the lease, do perhaps a day-to-day rental? Or should they do something else like, buy a cheaper, temporary used car and drive that until their Colorado or Canyon order comes in? So there is a lot of moving parts here, and people certainly need to be able to at least plan accordingly based on when their new 2023 Colorado or Canyon will show up. And so to that end, in that regard, I would argue that GM's ability to keep customers in the loop about the expected delivery of the 2023 Colorado or Canyon has definitely been lackluster here. It really is an area where GM should improve, at least, again, in my opinion. And that really brings me to my next point, which is that we live in a world of instant gratification. I can pick up my phone right now and order something from Amazon or maybe even some other retailers, and I will have it at my doorstep today. Today, not tomorrow, not a month from now, not 3 months from now, or even more. No, I can have it today. And as the retailer, in this case Amazon, right, as I am getting my product, I can actually, in some cases, be able to tell how many stops away is the delivery van or the delivery truck. Is it 8 stops away? Is it 2 stops away? What time exactly will it be arriving? Now, of course, as I mentioned earlier, there is a big difference in delivering a smartphone that's already been made, that's already been shipped, and that is simply now sitting at a local distribution hub. There's a big difference between that and building and then shipping a huge piece of metal with thousands of parts like a vehicle. There is a big difference. But again, we do live in the world nowadays that is simply a world of instant gratification. So perhaps GM needs to kind of think through that and at least provide better communication for the customer, because simply having trucks sitting on lots without being shipped for months on end, while people need to be able to, plan. They got to plan. They got to plan their life. They got to plan what to do with their lease, what to do with their finances. Do they get a loan from their bank, from their local credit union? Look at everything that's taking place currently with interest rates and how high they are. So customers need to plan. GM really ought to do a better job communicating with dealers, or perhaps with customers directly, on the status of their orders. At this time, all I can say is to be patient. GM is building and shipping the 2023 Colorado and Canyon. GMAuthority.com will be keeping a very close eye on deliveries of these new midsize pickup trucks to see if the situation improves. So make sure to subscribe to the channel right here, and don't forget to visit GMAuthority.com for even more news, analysis, spy shots, future product information, and all kinds of other content related to General Motors. I'm Alex Luft. Happy motoring, and I'll see you in the next one.
Motrolix.